Continuing with college sports, there has been no shortage of headlines surrounding the University of Michigan over the past few weeks, from electing a new president to hiring a new head football coach following the Sharon Moore scandal, and now awaiting an audit of the athletic department.
And the results could be pretty revealing. Joining us to share his thoughts on all things Michigan is insider and author, our friend of the show, John U. Bacon. And John, great to see you as always. Why don't we start with what Rhonda referred to, kind of the Sharon Moore saga, and going through that. And it was pretty clear there is a disconnect between the athletic department, how they want to handle it, what the Board of Regents might have been thinking, as well as the president's office. I'm curious if you think this new president coming in, Kent Syverud, has to work on aligning those entities.
There's no question about that. And obviously, sports is what gets all our attention, of course, certainly mine, as you can see from the books behind me. It's worth noting that the budget of the University of Michigan is $15 billion with a B, and athletics is $250 million, which seems like a lot to me, but that's basically 1%, 1.5% of the total. Yet, here we are talking on TV, it almost always gets all the attention. So it's not the biggest thing they do. The biggest thing they do is the hospital and the medical school, which is about half that budget. They probably spend $250 million at the hospital on rubber gloves per day. I don't know. But it gets all the attention, and absolutely right. They've not been aligned with President Schlissel and Santa Ono, the previous presidents, who both basically crashed and burned, both fired, essentially. And now Kent Syverud has got to fix that. Big question there, of course, is who will be the AD? Will it continue to be Ward Manuel, who's been in the job since 2016, or will there be a change?
And you mentioned Ward Manuel. A lot of people wonder, because at least for the football program, there has been so many scandals over the last few years, how he's been able to retain his leadership. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, under Mark Schlissel, he basically ignored sports. He didn't like sports. He was from Brown University and Johns Hopkins, and he kind of preferred that model. So Ward did not even have an annual review during his 8 years in the job that President Schlissel was in the job. So it was largely ignored under Schlissel. Santa Ono was very involved in sports. He and Ward did clash on certain things. But of course, Santa Ono lasted about 2.5 years. So it's been essentially a 10-year vacuum of leadership from the presidential point of view, in terms of athletics at least. So Ward Manuel has been largely free to do what he wanted to do. And it must be said, a couple years ago, they set a record with, I believe, 14 Big Ten titles. They are making money, so on certain measures, certainly, Ward Manuel looks very good. But you are right, in terms of the tabloids and whatnot, the scandals, hockey, basketball, football, have continued to mount.
Yeah, winning does cover up a lot of warts. I'm curious, John, this audit that's coming up, what do you think might be the most revealing thing we get from this?
Well, they're keeping it confidential, and I can guarantee you, Jason, that I'm not the first guy they call. But I can say that it's supposed to be a very thorough report. It's gender and block. It does have U of M ties, but frankly, most law firms do have some U of M folks in there. It's supposed to come out, I believe, but before the end of the month, right around the timing of the new president. Kent Syverud, by the way, at Syracuse, but he's got strong Michigan ties. 2 Michigan degrees, taught law at Michigan, by all accounts, an excellent professor. But he is very, very engaged in athletics, and it was at Syracuse. So I guarantee one thing that's not going to happen is whoever the AD is not going to go a year without a job review. So he's going to be engaged in a way that Mark Schlissel was not engaged.
Well, he is an alum. He's very passionate about the school. You listen to his press conference, and you can see this president is very vested in his new position.
And before we let you go, there's been a lot of talk with how the Board of Regents has kind of behaved, I guess you could say. Everybody, not everybody in that body on the same page. What can the new president do when it comes to dealing with the Board of Regents to also make sure everything is aligned?
First thing he's got to do is make peace. Full disclosure, I'm a trustee at Michigan Tech. We are appointed, like 12 of the 15 universities, including Central Michigan. You mentioned it earlier. Fire up, Chips. There we go. The 3 that are elected are Michigan, Michigan State, and Wayne State, and that makes it automatically a different animal, basically. So what's different in this case is Syverud is, I believe, 69 years old. He was about to retire from Syracuse. He was pretty much done being a president, but he couldn't say no to Michigan. As they say, you can't say no when mama calls. But he will have a different approach, I think, than the previous two. The previous two both applied for the Harvard position within 2 years, which was ridiculous. You've not done anything yet. But they saw Michigan as a stepping stone. Searood has got no dog in the fight in terms of his future and his career. This is his last job, almost certainly. And therefore, he's probably got a bit more emotional immunity from the Regents than the previous presidents had.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. A big thanks to you for joining us and also for your contributions to help us with such a great documentary on the Edmund Fitzgerald. And I know you have a book out right now. You want to tell us about it?
Oh, thank you for that one. Adam, your man at WDIV, did a phenomenal job. I've been a part of 4 or 5 documentaries. By all accounts, that is the best one out there. So it's Backstory by Adam, did a phenomenal job. My book is The Gales of November, The Untold Story of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and we're 11 weeks on the New York Times bestseller list.
All right.
Thanks to WDIV. Thank you very much.
It was one of the best things I'd seen in a long time. He's referring to Adam Spindler, our producer here, who it's a passion project.
Yeah.
And so glad you were able to participate in that, John. And thanks. We could talk to you about that for another hour.
I mean, we didn't get to the transfer portal. We didn't talk about Kyle Whittingham. We have so many subjects. So we'll get to that on the next time around. Thanks for joining us.
Happy to do it, Jason and Rhonda. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.